Today, the most visible reminder of the Jewish temple is the Western Wall, once a retaining wall for Herod's Temple Mount. It's the only part of the complex that survived the Roman siege. Known for centuries as the Wailing Wall, where Jews mourned the destruction of the temple, it's now the holiest site in modern Judaism. Today, the Western Wall is divided into 3 sections. The southern end is part of Jerusalem's archaeological park, where the stories of the Bible come to life. The Gospel of Mark tells the story of Jesus and his disciples leaving the temple. His disciples admire the magnificent buildings, and Jesus replies, "Do you see these great buildings? Not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down." This 2,000-year-old street along the western wall of the Temple Mount is a vivid fulfillment of that prophecy. On one side of the street is a row of shops, the only remains of a first-century market. It was in a place like this that Matthew and Mark described Jesus overturning the money changers' tables. And across the street, you can still see scorch marks from the fires that destroyed the temple in AD 70. Next to the wall are piles of overturned stones, still lying where they were thrown from the top of the Temple Mount by the armies of Rome. On one of the stones is a Hebrew inscription, "To the house of the trumpeter."
That stone would have been at the very top of the temple itself, or the Temple Mount complex itself, by one of the corners.
It says on it, "Lebeit Hatkiyah," to the trumpeter's house. Now, what does that mean? Some 2,000 plus years ago, this area where we are right now, this was a bustling marketplace. And you would have a priest standing atop the Temple Mount on the eve of the Sabbaths or festivals, blowing a trumpet, telling the shoppers down below, it's time to close the stalls, time to make your last minute purchases, and go home and get ready to accept the Sabbath, get ready to accept the festival. Now, today in Jerusalem and other parts of Israel, before the Sabbath, you will have a siren. And that siren, which is telling people that the Sabbath is coming, the roots of that are from this stone here, this practice 2,000 years ago. Now, not too long ago, I brought my children on a tour of ancient Jerusalem. And when we came to this stone, I asked my daughters, Hodaya and Eliana, I said, "What does it say on this stone?" And they said, "Abba, Dad, it says Lebeit Hatkiyah, to the trumpeter's house." I was very proud, of course, that my daughters, born in Jerusalem, are able to read the writing on a stone that's thousands of years old. How many nations, how many peoples today are able to read the writing of their ancestors going back more than 2,000 years, are able to speak the same language as their ancestors, worship the same God, have the same customs, the same festivals, have the same homeland? My children can say that. Jerusalem is where we have thousands of years of history, and the fact that my children can read the writing of their ancestors is priceless.